Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. So the debate happened. Will it be the one and only? I said on Tuesday I didn't think there would be another one if she did well. I also said, I predicted this, that she was going to do better than people thought because she has an allergy to prepping. But I think the people in charge came to her, and it's probably Nancy Pelosi and Obama's and their team of blood merchants, came to her and said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to memorize these things. You're going to execute perfectly. There's going to be no more awkward laughing, no more weird pauses, no more tangents. You're not going to freestyle about anything. You are going to deliver the prepackaged nuggets that we are serving to your brain in debate prep. And that's that. There was really nothing spontaneous about what she did, but she clearly did a better job than Donald Trump, which is fine. She did what she had to do. She shouldn't be given a hard time for that. I know a lot of people are talking about the earrings that she was wearing, whether or not she had an earpiece. I didn't get the sense that she was being fed lines. I got the sense that she was fed lines over and over and over again for about 6 days and just regurgitated them constantly until they were seared into her brain. It wasn't very spontaneous. Obviously, she wasn't challenged. That's why she agreed to do the ABC debate. I hope they have another one, and I hope Donald Trump preps for it in a different way than he has now, because the prep that he did made him seem kind of unhinged and crazy and very repetitive. And I know he's very passionate about returning the country to the place it was before the pandemic under his watch. He's not going to be able to do that if he's debating and running against someone who's putting together cohesive sentences, even if she doesn't really have a plan, even if her only plan is, and I'm going to give a $6,000 tax credit to young families so they can buy diapers. But at least it was a digestible morsel that voters tuning in for the first time, because it was a highly watched debate, more so than Biden and Trump. And speaking of Biden, he went to see some firefighters in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and had the most amazing moment. And people say it's because he's a doddering old fart, and that's what the guy who gave him the Trump hat called him. I thought that guy was a little bit rude. That was unnecessary, but Biden gave it right back to him. And then Biden put the Trump hat on. He knew exactly what he was doing. And you know what he was doing? He was flying a middle finger to Kamala Harris. He's like, I picked you. Now you're trying to distance yourself from me. You would not have this opportunity. You would not be where you are in life without me. Screw you and the horse you rode in on that the Haitian migrants are going to eat in short order. So he put on the Trump hat because, Kamala Harris gets the big Taylor Swift endorsement. And there's a couple things here. Number one, who cares? Number two, Taylor Swift has no skin in the game. She flies around on private jets, and she has a charmed life. I don't care if she can do it with a broken heart. Like, I can read your mind. She's having the time of her life. It's like, yeah, you always have the time of your life because you're a billionaire and you are fine. And it doesn't matter if you endorse someone who's going to raise taxes and impose more regulations and make life difficult for middle class and working families who are her fans, who spent, a couple $1,000s per person to go see her on tour. And now they're in debt for it. And they're going to be worse off if they have a presidentress who is going to raise their taxes and increase the size and scope of government, which is what Kamala Harris will do. So does Taylor Swift move the needle? I don't think that much, just as much as Joe Biden wearing a Trump hat. Like, it's kind of funny. We will talk about it for a day. But people are voting based on their economic condition. Now, inflation came down a little bit, which is a good thing. You want inflation to come down. It doesn't matter who the president is. You don't want inflation to come down so someone else gets credit for it. You want it to come down so you can afford to buy things. That's better, because that means that rates are going to come down, and that means more people can buy homes and start businesses for the first time, hopefully without any government interference or little kickbacks from Kamala. Kickback Kamala wants to bribe you to vote for her. Don't be fooled by her or Taylor Swift. And then there was another weird thing where Elon Musk told Taylor Swift that he would impregnate her and he would also guard her cats with his life, which was so unnecessary. And it made me realize, like, you have $1 billion and you have no game. And He has like hundreds of billions of dollars and still has no game, which is even more remarkable. So he's going to a fellow member of the 3 Comma Club, Taylor Swift, like, yeah, I'll give you a baby. And it's like, I think if she wants a baby, she could probably find a sperm donor. You know, that tall tight end that she's walking around on a leash, a Gucci leash, mind you. He could probably impregnate her if that's what she so desires, because that was part of her post, like, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz fight for IVF. And it's like, someone needs to fact check not only Kamala Harris in a debate, but Taylor Swift in a post, because Donald Trump has been screaming that not only is he not going to ban IVF, he is all for IVF, and he wants the federal government to subsidize it. So, you know, Taylor Swift's like, I've done my research. Like, well, do more then. At least be fair and accurate and honest. You don't have to endorse Donald Trump. I understand that you hate him. That's fine. But don't be dishonest with people about how factual and knowledgeable and well-researched you are when clearly you're in the basement. And, you know, you are in the high skies in terms of your PJ use and everything else. So it is incredibly hypocritical. People like Taylor Swift and George Clooney, they're insulated in their own bubble. They have so much money, they will never, ever have to worry about an economic downturn. But you know who will? Their fans, who shouldn't listen to them. They should think for themselves. They should look at their bottom line and determine whether or not they can afford more than they used to based on where they are in terms of whether or not they've gotten a raise and whether or not rent and the price of groceries have gone up, because those last two, those are a hard yes, unfortunately, which makes the vote easier for people if they're looking at this election. I always vote for freedom, which, you know, curiously, there's a lot of freedom going around if you're talking to Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. I think that the RFK Jr. endorsement is actually more consequential than Taylor Swift's of Kamala Harris, because the people who are loyal to RFK Jr., the people who feel like someone is speaking directly to them for the first time in their adult lives, they are more motivated to vote. So this race is still incredibly close, even though she won the first debate, and it's not over yet. I hope there's another debate. I hope there are 15 more debates. I hope they put Jill Stein and Cornel West on the stage just to make it interesting. I hope they're all topless. No, I don't. But I will tell you that I think the cats are safe. For some reason, we've had NASCAR dads and soccer moms. Cat ladies are what this election is all about. And cat ladies are going to do just fine, because by some president or another, they will be protected from Haitian migrants. And all the cat ladies will get IVF. So maybe Elon Musk will ultimately get his wish. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. Go, couch humpers. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.